What you're about to watch is a sit-in sheriff, badge, title, the whole thing, show up drunk to an active police standoff to rescue his criminal best friend, and somehow it gets way worse from there. Our story starts in Española, New Mexico. Small town, quiet, and right in the middle of it lives a 39-year-old guy named Philip Chacon. Now, Philip isn't just a random dude. He's a former city council, a local politician, a man who once shook hands and kissed babies for votes. He's also a landlord, and in March 2020, one of his tenants is 1 week late for rent. 1 week. Philip does not send a polite reminder text. Philip does not knock on the door and have a conversation. Philip shows up and beats the guy so badly he knocks out 3 of his teeth. 4 days later, different tenant, different argument, Philip beats the guy up too. And this time, he pulls out a knife and stabs him. So now, there's a felony warrant for a Philip arrest. Police roll up to his house to bring him in. Pretty routine, right? They knock, and from inside the house, they hear a gunshot. Then the front door flies open, and Philip comes sprinting toward the officers, carrying several rifles. The cops are screaming, "Drop the weapons! Drop them now!" Philip drops the rifles. Then, and I need you to really picture this, he turns around, jogs back inside, and locks the door. What started as a simple warrant just became a full SWAT-level standoff. Police flood the perimeter. Guns out, nobody's going anywhere. Philip is completely trapped. Or so they think. Because Philip has a plan. He has a very powerful friend, and he picks up his phone and dials him. That friend, Sheriff James Lujan, 60 years old, the elected county sheriff of Rio Arriba County. Quick note before we go further. In the US, the county sheriff's department and the city police department are completely separate agencies. They do not share a chain of command. The cops outside Philip's house, they do not work for Sheriff James. So Philip calls Sheriff James and says, basically, "Hey, I'm surrounded by the cops. Little help?" Now a normal person, even a normal sheriff, would say, "Turn yourself in, man. I can't help you with this." Sheriff James is not a normal sheriff. Sheriff James is also currently drinking. He hears his buddy in trouble and says, "I'm on my way." So this man, drunk, off duty, and in regular clothes, drives himself to an active armed standoff to personally intervene. He walks right up to the officers on the perimeter and immediately starts pulling rank, trying to tell the cops what to do. The female officer in charge takes one look at him and smells the alcohol. She's not impressed. The police tell the sheriff, flat out, "You need to leave the crime scene." He doesn't leave, he just lingers, hovering around awkwardly, trying to intimidate people with his title, and the officers, caught on their own body cams, are absolutely roasting him while he stands right there. But here's where it stops being funny and starts being a felony. Sheriff James walks up to the police chief. He pulls out his cell phone and shows him a text message, supposedly from Philip, that says Philip isn't even inside the house anymore. He's trying to convince the police chief to call off the entire standoff. Pack up, go home, let his buddy slip away. Police chief stares at him and says no, because this isn't the first time the sheriff has tried something like this. 3 years earlier, Philip Chacon led these same local police on a dangerous high-speed car chase through town. Philip eventually lost the cops, and the first person he called was Sheriff James. The sheriff secretly drove over, picked Philip up, and drove him to his father's house to hide. He helped a violent fugitive disappear, and somehow it got buried. The police chief remembers all of this. He's not falling for the text message again. They hold the perimeter. After hours of standoff, Philip finally accepts that his sheriff buddy can't magic him out of this one. He walks outside, raises his hands, and gets arrested. But the police aren't done yet. They're furious. 2 months later, they secure a search warrant for the sheriff's own department. They march in and demand his cell phones as evidence of obstruction. And the sheriff, he tries one last trick. The warrant says police can search his person, so right before they walk in, he hands his phones to his under-chief, his second in command. That way, the cops can't pat him down all they want. The phones are technically out of reach. It doesn't work. Eventually, the phones are handed over, but the sheriff refuses to give them the passcodes because he knows exactly what's sitting on those screens. They arrest the sit-in sheriff. The 2017 high-speed chase cover-up gets reopened. Investigators go back through everything. Sheriff James Lujan is hit with multiple felony charges. He fights in court, he loses, he's forced to resign in total disgrace, and sentenced to 3 years in prison, all because he drove drunk to a standoff to save his buddy. It doesn't matter how powerful you are, and it doesn't matter if your best friend wears a badge. When the people you've been pushing around finally decide they've had enough, nobody's above the law. Drop a comment. Was Sheriff James loyal or just stupid? And let's argue about it.